And that's another point, is that with, you said the internet was a real game changer, and I've noticed it with myself. I've learned some things the hard way, that like, it's an odd form of communication. If it's not your comfort zone, find somebody in your band or your manager or whomever that's good at finessing emails, and because I mean, oftentimes that's your first impression with an agent or a club or whatever.
That's an excellent point, because we were talking today just before this workshop started outside. Local's going to get a mail slot. We talked about one thing you don't get anymore, and that's press kits. People don't really do press kits anymore because we can spam. And listen to my songs on those websites. They don't have to send CDs anymore. You can see our pictures on our websites. They don't have to send photos anymore. You can see a band history on their website. So press kits are kind of out. You're not calling people and talking on the phone anymore. You can't send shitty emails.
Yeah, no.
You just can't do it.
Yeah, that's why there's autocorrect on your phone. That's why there's spell check. Like, try and be a little bit more.
I got this email at 6:39 tonight about a band we're trying to book for a week from Saturday, and I was trying to track down an email address or something. They don't have Facebook or email or a computer. Like, if you don't have any of those things, how are you a band in 2012? Do they have instruments? Yeah. Songs? And beyond that, when you look at local, we're really lucky because the local will book anybody from this team. No matter how much you suck, no matter how good you are, no matter how old you are, we will book anybody. And we have that reputation. But other places aren't really like that. If you send an email to a place you've never played without capitalization, without contact information that's clear, without a clear statement about what your genre is, where they can find information about you, they're just going to put it in the pile.
Here's the big one, is just the name of the email address you're using. I think the last 7 emails we received tonight are from people's names, and not the band name @gmail.com.
So,
or whatever it is. And that, I mean, we get hundreds and hundreds of requests a week about booking, and like, we don't know who Jake Smith is, or Bill, Jones,
or even worse, we got an email from a guy booking a band, and I can't remember the number, but the email was essentially BigJohnson615@gmail.com. Highly professional.
So I took over booking from a band that I'm friends with, that I'm booking them now, and Jeff's email address is deathcomeass@yahoo.com. How do you do anything with that? Like, he was like, I made it when I was 13. I can tell you.
Yeah.
But now bands are figuring out, so Price of Evil, a metal band we just booked, I don't know what their old email address was, somebody's name. Their new email is priceofevilbooking@gmail.com. So when Dan and I go through the emails, and there's a list of spam and show notices and other things, we see Price of Evil in their email address, and we know that's a specific email about booking a show, and those definitely get priority. And the good thing about email now is it's free. You have a band name that should be unique, or sort of unique, or you can tag 810 or Michigan at the end, and make a band email. That's the only thing you use that account for. And Marcus, who does a lot of design work for the local and for more local bands, is making like Facebook headers. So if you look at the local page, there's a big header for the Buck Valley Fest that's coming up. You can make an email header that's a JPEG that's appended at the top of every email you send out. You just send your emails in HTML. That has a little photo, a logo, your band name, your email address. And again, it's one more thing that says we pay attention to details when we're booking a show, and it inspires confidence in us that you've actually read the emails we sent, you're going to arrive on time to load in, you're going to know how long your set list is. When we send an email out to a band that has all this information, and then they write back and say, what time is load in? Where do we load in at? Like, all the stuff's in there. We're like, well, how good of a job are they going to do promoting the show if they can't even read the show information that we provide them? So every little thing you do is one more way to instill confidence in a potential booking agent, a potential record label, a potential venue you're going to play that says, here's a band that has their act together, and they take care of the little things. We have more belief that they're going to take care of the big things, which is just getting on stage and playing a good set.
It's all about presentation, really. I mean, it depends on what you perceive you want your band to be. I mean, if it's a metal band, obviously it's going to be a lot different than if it's a, an indie band or something like that. But you have to have that identity, and you have to build it to the point that you feel is professional and represents you appropriately. And then when you produce that for people, like Joel said, important people will notice, and everything will be good.
And let's be honest, because what really is booking if you're a band? It's getting a job, right? This is a job interview process that's not entirely unlike getting other jobs. Because you want to present your best resume, you want to make sure that when you describe your past work experience, it makes sense and it's sharp and concise. This is what you're doing when you're trying to get a gig with a band, too. You're applying for jobs. And here in local, we probably know something about you already. But a lot of places you want to play, you're not going to really be local every couple months, So you want to play gigs, you've got to stand out and get to know some other people and introduce yourself in these ways. And I'm going to let Marcus talk about branding later, of course. But speaking of bad emails and stuff, the band name is important. The band name is really important. We had one band called Fucking Gnarly. I can't even put that on a flyer. So unless you just want to play, crappy bars or something like that. House shows. But they wanted to play big shows and wanted to play the Southern Temple when we were there. Wanted to play the local. And I'm like, man, I have to abbreviate your name with an asterisk in it because we hand stuff out offensive. Okay? So you can have a cool band name without being offensive to it. That's a branding thing. That's part of email. That's part of this.
With the Kyle band keeps bugging us, and their name is something like Dr. Smoke and the Resonators. And if you have not one but two pop references in your band name, you aren't playing all ages shows. If you have alcohol references in your band name, play somewhere else.
You're limiting your audience.
Yeah, and so why do something right off the bat to limit your ability to get shows? Just a quick note. My name's Joel. I actually started local when I was 18. I have never played a show in my life, so much respect to all the musicians in the room. I started booking shows because I wanted to see cool bands, and that's still the main reason why we do it. Like Wade said, every request to book a show is a job request, a job interview. I work on projects involving youth entrepreneurship, and every band is a startup company. So if you're here and sign in, you're going to get an email from me. I'm doing interviews for a project I'm doing for Michigan State. But if you think about yourself as an entrepreneurial startup, you need all the things a young company does, and the more you treat your band like a business, and the nuts and bolts is something that we're not getting into tonight. But if you want to talk about bank accounts, accounting, getting a DBA, how to make your band a legal entity, it's grueling but important. That's something that I'd be happy to talk to you about, and you'll get future emails. We'll do but keep an eye out. We have a project called the YES Network, and YES stands for Youth Entrepreneurship Sustainability. That's starting back up in September. It will meet on site here at the local. They're on Monday nights. We feed you, and we talk about how to get your business started, whether that's being an artist,